This was tough as the Celtics ultimately fall in a close matchup versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, in which we saw a NBA Finals preview, as many seem to say. In unfortunate circumstances, though, the Celtics did come up short, but it's nothing to be over exaggerated about, nothing to freak out about. As Patrick, the Celtics are still one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and even though this is a little bit of a gut wrenching loss, the Thunder were very exceptional in tonight's game.
Yeah, Bruce, as tough it is to say for myself, I think they had the better game all throughout. They were able to, start off quarter strong and just really force their dominance on the court early on. And that's what changed the game. They're the best defensive team in the NBA for a reason.
Exactly. And besides that, even though that did unfortunate happen for the Celtics, we did have some bright spots with the Celtics in this game that we're going to be breaking down and looking at all in this episode of Celtics Digest. And Patrick, before we dive in and get into all of this, we do have something to let all the fans know a little bit about. So let's let them get that inside information. We are kicking off a March Madness Bracket Challenge here on this channel, and we've decided to partner with the app Hot Takes to run this event amongst other Digest channels. And it's completely free to sign up. All you need to do is download the app, click the top left banner March Madness, and go to the bottom right to find groups. Scroll down and find the Digest Media Pool and click that to join. You can win up to $25,000 in total prizes, and there's a real chance to win as there's a smaller pool involved in this challenge. All you need to do is go down to the pinned comment down below and click that link or scan this QR code and enter the code DIGEST in all caps to receive your exclusive perks. Remember, it is free to sign up, and if you have any questions revolving around this promotion, follow the pinned comment to revert back to the email. We hope to catch you guys on this group pool, and make sure to enter before March 16th before the tournament starts. All right, guys. Like we said, we're partnering with the Hot Takes app to bring you guys a March Madness Bracket Challenge. Patrick and I are both entered in as well. We're going to be excited
I'm
to.
ready. Got my
Yep, we're.
DJ Burn shirt on as well. I'm ready for March.
We're definitely ready, and we're going to be bringing all that fun on the Hot Takes app. So definitely come and join us. And Patrick, now let's dive in and let's get into the video
Let's
at
do it.
hand today. And like we mentioned, this was a little bit tough to kind of witness for the Celtics here, but I think it will be a-okay for this team heading into this little bit of a finals, preview matchup as we see the Celtics unfortunately fall short, lose their final home game on, this 7 game home stretch as they lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder 118 to 112. And what really screamed out to you, and what did you really see from this game here to start it off, Patrick?
Well, I think the start of the game really set the tone. The Thunder started off on a 9-0 run into an instant Celtics timeout. I mean, we did see that against the Lakers. I'm pretty sure it was a 7-0 run to start the game. So you don't really want to see a slow start from the Boston Celtics, but they were able to kind of bring the deficit down and get a couple lead changes. But this team needs to start a little bit hotter and not play from behind. I'm sure Joe Mazzulla loves playing from behind, but I certainly don't love it. But they got to get things going a little bit quicker and maybe attack the rim a little bit more. They shot an historic number from three tonight, shooting over 63s, and you live or die by the three. I mean, they made a decent amount, but they took a lot.
Yeah, they definitely were launching those threes. I believe they had around 21 attempts in the first quarter or something like that. Absolutely insane. And it took a long time for the Celtics to make a two-pointer, kind of getting into this contest here. But we did see the likes of some stars step up for this team. Like we mentioned, no Kristaps Porziņģis for this team once again as he sat out with his 7th straight miss with dealing with this illness. But hopefully Porzingis can be back as he was questionable on today's sheet. But similar to where the Celtics played the Thunder previously on the road in this first matchup. Patrick, we saw a little bit of a weak performance from the bench where the starters really had to carry the load. Jayson Tatum had a phenomenal game. Derrick White and Al Horford really delivered. Jaylen Brown had a really nice dunk at the end, but throughout the game wasn't the greatest offensively for the Celtics team alongside Jrue Holiday. Torrey Craig got some early first quarter minutes. He didn't look that great, and Luke Cornett was really the only one that was standing out from this Celtics bench tonight.
Yeah, I'm really trying to figure out what's up with this bench when it comes to the bigger games like this. I know it is tough as being a basketball player, of course, over the years. Just if you're sitting for so long, it's very hard to get a rhythm when you're not in for too long as well. So if you're getting sporadic minutes, you're really not going to get into a good flow if you don't start off right. But I think, like I touched on a little bit earlier, is attacking the rim and just kind of seeing one go in if they're not falling. We've seen Sam Hauser in his last game as well when he scored 33. He did go and take a couple of twos in the paint, which he never usually does, but you gain a little bit of confidence in getting to the line and just seeing the ball go in is just huge as a player for your mentality going down the line in the game. So I think that the Celtics were a little bit softer when it came to going into the paint and looking for those twos, and they just really relied on the three today. And I'm just hoping that the bench can kind of see this and just really have an attack mentality and find those easy open threes by going into the paint and having everyone crash in on you on defense.
You mentioned that the Celtics should try to do that, and they've really been experts at that drive and kick and kind of instilled that, throughout the league. Now, obviously, it's been precedent, but, the Celtics have kind of made that their, really great option of how they've been able to have this great ball movement and find those open three pointers to be successful, even dating back to last season. And unfortunately, they weren't able to do that tonight. This Oklahoma City Thunder, like you mentioned, have a top defense and a really great interior defense as well with guys like Chet Holmgren, um, Lou Dort, also Isaiah Hartenstein, which if we look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they had, a great game. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander played really solid, but they had their stuff all spread out. We saw Jayson Tatum, though, even though in this performance had a wonderful one, 33 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 12 for 23 from the field, 4 3-pointers, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, averaging 34 points over his last 5. And we saw a little bit of a discrepancy from the free throws. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets, the memes for getting a lot of free throws, but we could see that it was evident here tonight as the Thunder had more than 23 free throws than the Boston Celtics. You think that relied anything on this game tonight, Patrick?
I mean, definitely. There's definitely a discrepancy when it comes to that. I mean, we know how Shea is. We call him the foul merchant. I mean, he has. I think they said on the broadcast that he has 120 more attempts than whoever's in second place, which is
Wow.
unbelievable. I mean, we saw it tonight. He uses his body to get into the defender. There's a couple calls that I thought were a little soft. I mean, Jayson Tatum definitely has a short leash as well with the technical fouls. I feel like he's always kind of got something against him when it comes to the tees, but I mean, again, you just got to be straight up with this guy, and like we talked about in the live earlier, it's just you gotta just try and contain the guy. And the Thunder just had a great game plan. There's one thing as well. We saw Kenrick Williams get a lot of wide open threes in the corner. The Celtics had a tough problem with that low screen on the low block and leaving someone wide open in the corner. Just really not the best defensive showing for the Boston Celtics tonight, but I mean, Bruce, they are a tough team regardless of what you look at. They definitely were deserving of that win, regardless of the outcome.
100%. And with the Celtics here, we obviously know that they're a top team in the East going up against some top teams in the West. And we've seen, in the regular season, them kind of get the best of some of these matchups, in a one-to-one matchup, one-to-one opportunity. But I do feel confident, with the Celtics team that going into a series that they'd be able to hold their own and kind of match up with this Thunder team and work over those things. And I know you feel the same as well, that this would be really cool. And I'm hoping that we get to see this as the finals coming into June. The Celtics versus this Thunder team. I think this would be, two of the best teams in the NBA, if not the best two on the East, on the West, kind of suiting up and going up against each other. And we've kind of seen that representative in these games. Even with guys like Porziņģis and Caruso and Jalen Williams out, they still put on some great performances back and forth. Like you mentioned, Thunder taking those big leads, Celtics trying to claw back, but unfortunately just could not get it done here. But no reason to freak out, no even to, worry about this Celtics team because they'll still be a top tier contender. And I'm very, very excited to see that. And a little bit of a good battle between Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jayson Tatum on ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like Tatum's in a way. I mean, he did have that second quarter where he did have some great offense, but it was kind of like a silent 30 plus point game, I feel like, at the same time. But I guess it's just because Shea was really taking over on their side of the offensive side and getting to the free throw line as he does, it just really just centers the attention on him. Like, even with Chet as well, he had a big game silently, it felt like. It was really just the Shea show, and everyone was just there watching, just trying to contain him. I mean, his mid range is crazy, but like we talked about in the live as well, Bruce, they weren't really getting out on him on the 3 point line as much as I would have liked to. He's definitely shot it a lot better this year than he has in the past. And they've really got to dial in on that as well. I mean, he's becoming a great 3 point shooter.
100%. And those numbers and efficiencies are just going to continue to grow. And one of those players fighting in that MVP race, definitely worthy of being in that race between him and Nikola Jokic. And he put that, show on display once again, taking on one of those best teams in the Celtics, not only in record wise, but offensively and defensively as well. As, like we said, they needed to contain him, and the Celtics failed to do so. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and breaking down this, post game video with us, breaking down this Celtics loss. But even though they did lose, they got some big games coming up. They got the Heat and the Nets coming up this week. So hoping to, get a little bit of a bounce back and get the ball rolling once again and get back on that win streak like they just had with those last 5. But once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the videos, checking us out. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream earlier today. And Patrick and I will be making these videos for you guys for these next obvious future. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything, make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. But we'll be signing off on today's video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.